What's up, guys? Here for the Week 5 performance reviews. Try not to spend too much time on this. We'll get started here. We have my team versus David's team. Put the beat down on him pretty bad. It was 126-68. I had 6 players in double digits, starting with Carson Wentz, who had 27. Wayne Gallman had 10, or almost 11. Brandon Cooks with 11. Jimmy Graham with 13. Jerick McKinnon with 24. Ravens defense got me 14. Nothing too crazy. Rashard Matthews was a little bit of a disappointment, but that probably has a lot to do with Mariota. And Bilal Powell got hurt in the game, so that's why his points are down. If we look over here at David's team, he had looks like 3 players get double digits for him. Dak Prescott was his big scorer for the week with 30 points, and T.Y. Hilton had 21. Robert Woods basically had 10. He did have quite a bit of duds in his lineup. Phil Dawson, his kicker, got him 0. Texans defense got him -7. Randall Cobb with 5. Jesse James with 4. Sammy Watkins got him 0. Terrence West got him just about 2. Elijah McGuire with 4. He had a lot of players on bye week this week. Some of his studs like Julio, Demaryius Thomas, Mark Ingram. So that had a lot to do with his a little bit of his poor performance there. So we'll move on to the next matchup here, which we actually had 3 matchups this week that were basically decided by 2 points, it looks like. And this is one of them. It was the battle of the Phillips in the league, Phil versus Phillip. Phillip was able to take him out. It was 115.4 to 113.5. So won this matchup by 1.9 points. So we'll start here with the winner's team, Phillip. Alex Smith had 27. A.J. Green had 26. Kelvin Benjamin with 14. Devonta Adams with 22. Nothing real else to speak of in his lineup. Gurley was a disappointment with 4 points. Sterling Shepard, as we know, all the Giants receivers got hurt this week. Sterling Shepard just gave him a 1.5 basically. Nothing else too crazy. So he has Sterling Shepard hurt. Charles Clay got him 4 points. He left the game with injury, and he's going to be out for a while as well. So a lot of injuries on Phillips' team here. So obviously some of these guys will be going to the waiver wire. Obviously, Brandon Marshall's out for the year, and he's already got David Johnson on the bench, so I'm sure he'll be keeping him as long as he can. Look over here at Phil's team. We got Aaron Rodgers at 24, Lamar Miller at 10, Antonio Brown at 21, Tyreek Hill got him 15, Chris Hogan was 17, and Justin Tucker got him 13. Couple disappointments, 4 points out of Delaney Walker. Once again, probably factor in with Mariota being out. That probably has a lot to do with that there. Latavius Murray only got him 5. So it looks like, based on the one game we've seen without Dalvin Cook, that McKinnon may be the guy to own there and not Murray. So big benefit for my team there, as I got McKinnon the day after Murray was picked up. And everything else looks pretty good. I mean, he did have Raiders defense who got him -1, which definitely hurt there. But he's got Broncos defense on the bench, so they will be in his lineup every game moving forward, I'm sure. Next up, we have one of the other close matchups of the week. We had Dalton, who was coming in at 3-1 versus the only winless team in the league, George, who was 0-4, and George was able to pull this one out by 2.5 points. He won 102.8 to 100.3. So tough loss there for Dalton. So take a look at it here. We'll start with Dalton's team. Dalton had Carson Palmer with basically 16, Aaron Jones with 20, Hopkins with 25, Safarian Jenkins with 12, Bengals defense with 11. The kicker, Greg Zuerlein, killed it for him the week before with 7 field goals. Didn't give him much this week, got him 3 points. Devonta Parker got him 1. I know he was hurt in the game. Stephon Diggs only got him 0.9. So a tough game there for Diggs. I know that's probably very frustrating for Dalton as going into Monday night. You obviously probably just expected to get the victory there. With Diggs in your lineup and only needing a few points. Carlos Hyde was a disappointment for him there as well with 2.3 points. If we look over here at George's team, he got his first win of the year. Eli Manning gave him 13, Frank Gore with 10, Odell Beckham got him 19. Obviously, Odell is going to be out for the year now, so his team was already struggling some, and losing your number one pick is not going to make it any easier there. He had Zach Ertz with 15, Panthers defense with 10. Vinatieri was probably his best player this week for all intensive purposes, got him 18 points. His bench was just full with bye week players, so he got a good chunk of that out of the way, and it's really nice to get a good victory when you have 3 or 4 guys on bye week. See, next up we have Garrett versus Dakota. Garrett won this one basically 130 to 112. So we'll start here looking at Dakota's team. He had Winston get him 19. Le'Veon Bell got him 14. Ezekiel Elliott got him 14. Des Bryant got him 14. Kareem Hunt got him 13. And he had Gostkowski get him 15. No real, besides Jared Cook getting him 2 points, no real duds in his lineup. Fitzgerald got him 8. Martavis Bryant got him 6. For Martavis, it's probably one of his better games. He hasn't really produced the way a lot of people expected him to produce this year, so you can't, at this point, you can't really expect a lot out of him. A few players on bye week on his bench there as well. We look over here at Garrett's team. He had Russell Wilson with 12, Melvin Gordon with a huge game with 31, Garcon with 13, Kirsch with 12, Funchess with 15, Kelsey with 14, McCaffrey with 12. That Chiefs defense get him 9. He even had players on his bench who were putting up numbers. Aguilar with 17, Mike Wallace with 15, Crabtree with 17. So, really, no matter which way he would have gone there with some of those receivers, he would definitely still gotten the win there. So it's nice to see when your entire receiving core produces like that. We got 2 more matchups to look at here. Here we have Ray versus Joseph. Ray won this one 132 to 107. So we'll start here looking at Joseph's team. McCoy gave him 12. Doug Martin gave him 15. Landry with 13. And the Jaguars defense gave him 26. That was huge there. Had John Brown on the bench who gave him 10. Could have got a few more points there, but wouldn't have made a difference for him. Maybe some duds in his lineup. Tyrod Taylor only gave him 9. Alshon Jeffrey really hasn't performed very well this year. Being drafted as high as he was drafted, you would have thought he would be putting up some decent numbers, but he's only had 2 weeks with double-digit points, and each of those weeks he had a touchdown. So if he's not scoring a touchdown, he's really not putting up any kind of points for you. Nothing else really bad in his lineup there outside Alshon, I would say. If we look over here at Ray's team, he's got guys getting 30 points this week. Deshaun Watson with basically 36. That was a big free agent pickup for him there. He's really looking pretty good so far this year, probably surprising everybody, including myself. I thought he would be a solid player. He's a rookie. I just figured it might take half a season until he got to that point. But he's really just killing it for him. So that'll be a big boost to Ray's team there if he can keep that kind of stuff up. Fournette got him 31, had a big game against Pittsburgh, 90-yard touchdown. 90-yard touchdown is 15 points right there. On one play, that's huge production. Had Ellington with 11, Amendola with 12, Will Fuller got him 19, Robbie Gould got him 13. Few players on bye week on his bench, not much production elsewhere. Some duds. He had Lions defense got him 2, Amir Abdullah got him 4, Evan Ingram got him 0. Jerron Brown got 5. I mean, it's not horrible considering, he's a waiver wire pickup. But pretty good week for Ray's team there. He actually was the leading scorer this week, so it didn't matter who he played, man, he was going to get that W. And then the last matchup we have here is Ray Sr. versus Michael. Ray Sr. won this one by, looks like 2.1 points, 93.5 to 91.4. And then what's funny is these are the second and third lowest scores of the week. So for Ray Sr.'s benefits, he got the win there. But mainly if he would have played anybody else outside of David, he would have took the loss this week. So sometimes, you get lucky and the schedule breaks in your favor. So we'll look here at Ray Sr.'s team. Tom Brady got him 13. Duke Johnson with 16. Deshaun Jackson with 13. Cameron Brate with 15. Jake Elliott with 10. Did have Javoris Allen on the bench with 17 and Kyle Rudolph with 14. So could have got a few more points out of the running back position there. Tight end, he actually played the right guy there. Got him a couple more points. Some duds, Tariq Cohen got him 1.2. Nothing else real crazy there. I mean, you might expect Jordan Howard to get more than 7.6. But Tate got him 7. Without a touchdown, that's decent production for him. Kendall Wright basically got him 7, so not horrible there. And if we look here at Michael's team, he had Stafford with 15. Lynch with 12. Joe Mixon with 11. Seahawks defense with 12. Did have Cam Newton on the bench with 26. So you put Cam Newton in there over Stafford, that gets you the win right there. Same thing if you would have put James White in there over DeMarco Murray. Not sure I would have done that, but definitely could have would have gave you the victory there. That's more of a tough decision. I actually think I would have played Cam over Stafford in my opinion, but obviously this is after the fact, so it's kind of hard to say. So that wraps up things there. I believe we have 2 teams tied for first currently. It is myself and Philip. We are tied at 4-1. And then we have quite a bit tied at 3-2. Some at 2-3. We have Ray's dad, Ray Sr. sneaking in there because he's got the 1 tie, so he's kind of in the middle there. And then we got George and David bringing up the rear at 1-4. And if we look at the free agent report today, nothing too crazy. I think the biggest free agent pickup this week was Adrian Peterson, which Phil spent his remaining fab budget to pick him up. So right now we got, I believe it's 3 players who have spent all their fab out of Phil, Ray, and I think Philip. So it might be difficult for them to pick up any kind of hot free agents moving forward the rest of the year. Quite a bit of people tried to pick up Peterson. Phil got him with a bid of $22. I bid $15. Dakota bid $14. And then there's a couple $0 shots at him. Just hoping for the best. No other big free agents really in my mind were picked up this week, so nothing of significance to really mention there. I will have the updated power rankings on the league page, and best of luck to everybody moving into week 6, and see you guys later.